what's your tag and how long you been playing?
I'm Bean or BBNLI. Been playing for almost 2.5 years now.
Alright, cool.
Yeah.
And what's your goal around?
Goal? I guess I think I need a more solid understanding of what I'm looking for in the matchup. Because as of right now, it's like I was telling you in our DMs. As of right now, I'm kind of just like camping really hard, and then just grabbing Puff at like 50.
Yeah.
I really don't have a lot outside of that.
It's like
I'll like I said, I can't really punch up in this matchup. I can like beat people around where I am. I can beat people under me. I can't really punch up, so it's kind of tough.
I would say this is probably the easiest matchup to play, like, of the top 8 on both sides. It's like Puff is looking for like a knockdown into a kill, whereas Fox is looking damage into a kill. Not necessarily up their upper at 50, because like essentially how it works, if you only look for one kill confirm the entire game, you're just gonna be very predictable. So like you can always see like whenever Hungrybox is just ready for a Fox to throw out an Upsmash and just grab him or rest him for it, and that just comes up a lot. It's like, it's not like you should be playing like, oh, I should be lasering till 100 and trying to get it back here. Like, that's not what I'm saying. It's more about just like finding the kill when you can. It's not really like you have to fish for one opening, you know? But
of course. All right.
In terms of stages, are you good with that? Like, do I need to like talk about the stages at all?
No, I get it.
Okay, cool. So instantly he started shooting lasers, like you were saying about camping. It's like, the lasers aren't really like the part of camping, it's more about like forcing your opponent to approach you, because Puff is way worse than Fox at approaching in general. So like, Puff right now, like, the only way that Puff can actually hit you is she tries to like wave one off the platform and backer you, in which case you can just dash back and like beat it with like a Nair or a grab or something like that. So IW is trying to just bait out a waveland off the platform or shield drop the back air, either one. But Hungrybox is going to be like the person to not bite this entire time. Both of them are kind of down to not play the game, so it's going to be a lot of like just like lasering and trying to like get Hungrybox to approach, but he won't. So it's completely fine, like I'm saying. He's just building damage with the lasers, so it's like eventually Hungrybox will make the mistake of approaching. Not the mistake, but it's a mistake against Fox, honestly, with the way he plays. But when you shoot a laser, you can like shoot another laser again. Like this, he does like a short hop laser. He doesn't do like short hop double laser. So he's not like shooting like a set of lasers. Like what I mean by that is like when you shoot lasers, Puff is usually going to approach you. Essentially how it works. She doesn't want to just take free damage in lasers, right? So she's gonna want to start immediately moving towards you. So the mix-up is like, you can shoot another set of lasers if you think that Puff is going to try and take your time to approach you, or if you think Puff is going to immediately just wave off the platform and try and backer you here, you can dash back. And most of the time, it's honestly the answer is dash back. So I bet he actually dashes forward because he doesn't think Hungrybox is going to approach, but he could have just sat here and just shoot more lasers and that would have been fine too.
Do you think shooting that second set of lasers is like safe?
It's safe
like risk reward wise.
It's safe if you're out of range, and like risk reward wise, it depends, of course. I think right now it's completely fine to shoot down like another set of lasers. Like I would be shooting 2 sets here, like in general, because like a lot
now,
of
yeah, because you're still far back.
Yeah, it's a lot about ranges too. It's like if let me get Puff a little bit, like about here, this is like a little bit further back. Like this is like kind of like a golden zone for Fox. Like he wants Puff to be able to throw out a backer and whiff. That's like basically what like the zone he's trying to play at. But he can still kind of get hit by pound. But that's like essentially what you're trying to do. And then like you don't really want to laser when you get in this like type of area, because then you can get hit by backer. So that's like the entire point of laser, is to try and get them into this zone so you can try and get them to whiff a backer. So it's a lot about approaching. So okay, he's at a really good distance. What I was trying to say, this is good distance because he can't really hit. He can't get hit, and he can also just start throwing out a laser right here. And then he doesn't throw out another set of lasers. He waits for the back here. He dashes way too far back though. This is a common thing about IBW. Though, like if we get to it, I'll show like a game with like SFAT on FD, and he really is better at doing this. But You can definitely do a tighter dash dance here to punish this back here, but IW is just not ready for it, and he just shoots a laser, because that's, like, all he could have gotten. He could have tried to, like, the thing is he tries to Nair again, but he already messed up by the fact that he didn't whiff punish the first back here. So he got too close to Puff, and then he got backward for it. So what I would have done here as Fox, it's a little bit scary because you're in the corner, obviously. Because, like, you don't really want to be cornered. That's, like, the problem with lasers. If you shoot 2 sets of lasers, then Puff gets on your space, and then you're cornered. And then you have to try and get out of the corner versus Puff, which is, like...
terrifying.
It's terrifying, because if you don't mix up your timings well, you can just get upper wristed, you can get grabbed, you can get wave dash back grabbed, you can get back aired and take damage, you get roll wristed, like... There's just so many options, so you don't really want to get cornered ever in this matchup. Like, as long as you have center stage control, you're always, like... doing better than Puff, essentially, even if you're down, honestly. But, like, in this spot, he definitely just got bad spacing on his zone. Okay. Got him into the corner just crazily by that trade. Honestly, Hungrybox didn't have to go here, but it's really good as soon as Puff basically gives you space, just immediately take it. There's no real threat to ever taking space in this matchup, because Puff has to back off eventually. Or she'll just risk getting, like, blown up by Nair trains. Okay.
Oh, so this is, I mean, this is a huge question, but when Puff's in the corner, do you think it's even, like, worth running at her ever?
So, if you watch when we're going over this, you'll basically see IBW never really risk reward-wise go for heavy options. Like, the options that are risk reward-wise are really, like, scary for Fox to do is, like, you dash, and then let's say Puff is jumping off stage over here, trying to, like, get Fox to approach and try and get, like, a back air to get damage. Or, like, especially if she's in the lead. If she's not in the lead, that type of gameplay isn't that bad for you, because you can just start spamming lasers against it.
Yeah, you just hold center.
Yeah, you just don't need to even approach it. But, like, let's say it's, like, even, or, like, it's, like, close, or it's, like, Puff is getting really good at dodging your lasers, or she's up. You can, like, try and go for, like, a dash jump up air in, like, this type of area. But it's pretty scary risk reward wise. The only Foxes you'll really see doing this is Mango and kind of Plop too. Both of them like to do this kind of up air. It's like a lot of bad Foxes like doing it too, but they don't really understand what's actually hitting, so they just kind of throw it out. Then like Hungrybox or another Puff is already on the platform, or they're already on the ledge or on the ground, and they're up airing you. So that's like the risk reward wise. You go for an up air, it kills really early, and then you could also get up aired for going for it. So it's like, I would say, unless it's killing, never go for that up air, essentially. It's also probably not good to go for in general, because it just lets Puff get an opportunity to come back if she's playing really well. Whereas going for, like, lasers, shooting lasers, but the biggest thing IW is literally going to do right here, so he just goes for this up air, and it's broken. So this just kind of circumvents a lot of the situations that you don't have to go for, like, really aggressive up airs over here, or trying to, like, get to ledge and trying to, like, crouch cancel up smash, or trying to up smash a landing where you could get pounded or something like that. So this is, like, the up air to go for. Do you play on box or controller, or what do you play on?
Unfortunately, I'm a box user.
Well, that's good for you right here, because this up air is pretty good to use on the box for sure.
Yeah.
I know on, like, controller you have to, like, claw for it, or like Z jump like IW does, so it's really good. Just go for the short hop up air, because it hits the platform, especially on Battlefield, and then you just shield poke a lot of the times they're shielding. But
yeah,
you have to time it well to be able to hit the platform, and you also don't want to do it too late, because if you do it too late, then you get hit by a shield drop up air, because that's what you're basically beating a lot of the times if they try and shield drop, because it'll happen later. But essentially, like, this up air is just so good, because you get under the platform, which is kind of what you want, but it's hard to get under the platform if you're already in center, because Hungrybox, like a lot of other Puffs do this type of, like, shield drop back air, or like waveline off the platform, this platform, and then back air you, just to try and cover your dash in, to try and take space on you to get under them, because under the platform is just really hard, because Puff can't shield drop onto you because of this up air, and then because of, like, up tilt, you can't actually get hit by just throwing out up tilts after you do this, like, up air. So up tilt's fine here too. But there's also other situations too, but they'll come up. So yeah, default, like he just throws out another one of these up airs because it's just amazing. It's really good to cover landings too, not even just like them chilling on the platform. Like
I've used those short hops before to try to get puffs that are like coming off side plat, off like the sides. Like, you know, you're talking about earlier. It was more on the game start, but like how a lot of puffs will try to waveland off the side of side plat.
Yeah.
Do like waveland air, waveland side B, like pound or something.
Yeah.
I use them there, but I never really use it to get under the plat.
Yeah, it's really good to get under the plat. It's also really good to cover an edge cancel downer. I wouldn't really cover a waveland off the platform with it though, just because it's a little bit spookier, because they could also just choose to like not waveland, and that's the problem with it. Whereas like an edge cancel, like they're forced to edge cancel because they've already started like a downer or something like that up here, so it's a little bit easier to to time and also beat. Whereas like a waveland, they could just waveland, they could shield drop, they could just wave dash in place. The Hungrybox is really good at like mixing up his timing. So like, I really wouldn't cover waveland off the platform with an up air like that. I would probably just, again, like just hold center and then just wait for the back air to come out and just dash dance, like dash dance whip punish it. There's also the mix up though. If they do pound though, like you said, you have to like dash back even further to cover a pound. And then in that situation, you're giving up space. So like if they didn't do a pound, they could like they could just like land on the ground and then you're cornered. So that's the scary part about it. But sometimes you can cover pound with like, do the same type of like dash dance mix up of back air and then just shield instead. Okay, you just up airs him again because there's literally no risk to it. Okay, really good lasers. He's just trying to get damage and force him to approach. This is like, he knows Hungrybox can't approach from on the ground over here. Like, no, there's no way Fox can ever get hit here for like 5 seconds because of how slow Puff is on the ground. Like, when she's on the platform like this, she covers this entire range with a back air, and she covers like this range with a pound. So she has way more threat distance, but like, she's only covering about here with her back air or pound. So she can't really hit Fox for a while. So that's why he's just throwing out lasers and he's just not risking anything. It's like he could take space right here because Puff is giving to him, but he's in the lead and he knows that like he's not necessarily fishing for like up through up air or jab up smash right now, but he knows that he's about to get in the percent of that, so he's kind of just building damage because he knows that a kill is able to happen soon, essentially. This is the Nair. This is probably what another mix-up you're talking about with the platforms, Discord-wise. So I like this Nair right here. Just the spacing wise, like trying to Nair and land on the edge of the platform like this is good. A lot of the times you're gonna be crossing up like Puff's shield and she'll be facing like this way, or you'll be going like over her shield with this type of Nair, and it's really good. The problem though is that sometimes like Puff can like wave dash back and like hold down on you and just like try and get a grab off you, so it's a little bit risky to do this, but I think overall this is perfectly fine to go for most of the time. I would do always Nair as your option here. I wouldn't really try and back her. If you're going to try and back her, though, it's mostly like holding center while doing it and like trying to do like a back her like this. But there's like also some mix-ups where like Puff can shield grab you before the back air comes out. That's pretty much a Hungrybox classic. He'll just like whiff grab over and over again. You'll see like IBIB just sitting under the platform, just up tilting. And it's like, I think this Nair is fine. Again, you can just be like really passive with it and just keep holding like this situation and just trying to upper him or up tilt him, and that's fine too. You don't have to go for these Nairs, but I think they're fine to mix in from time to time for sure.
Okay, when I go for, I mean, I guess I never space it like that. Now I'm thinking about it, because when I go for Nairs, I just get shield grabbed, and then I just look like a bozo.
Yeah, it's like the most common Fox Nair is like Puff's sitting right here in shield. Fox does a Nair onto the platform and like hits the top of Puff's shield, so he's not going to be like in frame advantage. He just gets shield grabbed. Like that's a pretty common one that I see. So you always want to either land behind Puff's shield, ideally is the best way to do it, or like try and land to the edge of the platform. It's mostly just trying to land to the end of the platform. Mostly.
All right.
Okay.
Keep that in mind.
So whenever Puff throws out Nair, especially a feedback Nair, it has to get grabbed. Like no matter what you do, you have to be ready to grab this type of Nair. So IBW is a really good dash buck here, and then he beats the Nair that way. Because Hungrybox sees that IBW is dashing back, so if he tries to land and tries to land close to him, he knows he's getting grabbed 100% of the time, or like up smash, so he doesn't even want to risk it. This is a pretty common habit of Puff in the corner in general. She'll like jump over here, jump, and then she'll try and Nair onto stage. and this is such a like, it's kind of a scrub habit by Hungrybox too by doing this, but IBW has played so many puffs to the point that he just knows this will happen. So just always be ready to like grab a fade back Nair. It's just really important because they can't really do anything after they fade back this Nair. They can try and grab you, but most of the time they won't be able to if you actually are like dash dancing at a good range and being able and reacting well. So you can just get grabbed here a lot. It's really good. It's like a lot of this set boils down to Hungrybox going for that Nair and the IBW just dash dancing outside the range and then just waiting for it. Because he doesn't, when he's not like directly under the platform, he doesn't really want to like force it and go under the platform, if that makes sense. Like, he goes under the platform if Hungrybox gives him the opportunity. Like, Hungrybox is trying to land onto the platform, that's when he goes under it. Or, like, if Hungrybox is, like, way up here, that's when he goes on the platform, too. It's like, he takes it when he really can, but he doesn't try and force it if he doesn't really can, like, get it, essentially. Okay. Not full screen. There we go. Drill is really good at low damage, but always just do drill grab. Don't do drill up tilt. I feel like that's a common mistake for sure. You can do drill shine as well too. I think drill grab is just the best though in general, because a lot of times they will shield even if they get out of the drill grab. So it's like it's fine completely. And it's really important low damage to drill in general because it basically negates crouch cancel, and a lot of the times Puff really wants to get a crouch cancel on your Nair. So I think it's really good to drill in general, but just don't drill up tilt because they'll just hold down after the drill and get a shield, like not like a shield grab, but like a crouch cancel shield grab kind of.
Drill in general, like I actually land drill grab like a lot, but I had one of the people who like pretty much helped me with this game told me that they don't really think drill is like too legit against Puff because of like Puff's not on the ground a lot to get it.
I think.
What do you? Because I still do it. Like I still think it's really strong, but like I don't know. That's kind of been in like the back of my mind. Is like, is this really that legit?
Well, most of the time, it's only really good when Puff is already on the ground. Like you said, it's never really good when.
Yeah, you don't want to hit her in the air with it.
Full hop drills are really bad in general. Never really full hop your drills in this matchup. It's always off of a short hop and trying to hit Puff on the ground. It's mainly at this damage. You always want to be drilling. It's like, if she's not really going to be wanting to jump when she's already on the ground, because jump in the air too high. Because if she like jumps like on the short hop, usually by the time you've already gotten into her space, she's going to be on the ground again after doing like a back or something, like whiff punishing that. So it's not really like you're ever really scared of getting like reversal grabbed if you hit Puff on the air off a down air, unless you do a full hop one. Or like, let's say you just like try and cover like Puff full hopping, which is not that like, it's not that good to cover Puff full hopping with drill ever. So it's like most of the times you're getting drill is always going to be off a whiff punish, or like when Puff is just sitting on the ground trying to grab an air. So it's really good in terms of that. Okay. See how IBW immediately takes to the space as soon as Hungrybox goes like really high in the air. He just already has this control instantly. He's not even thinking about going back to center. He does here for some reason, but he doesn't have to. He could have just, yeah, he goes right back instantly when he realizes he could have just chilled there the entire time. Okay. This back air was what I was talking about earlier, kind of, but he does a really weird timing on it. I think this type of back air is really good. He could have done this like in place here and hit Puff. It's kind of something he doesn't do that much. It's kind of, again, like risk reward wise, you could try and get grabbed for this, but I think it's really good to go for these types of back airs because it's a good option to cover landing. And like, let's say they don't land and they use another jump, you can cover the next jump as well too. So I think these back airs are really good. He didn't really have to retreat though. That's like the problem with doing like the fade back on this. He didn't have to leave that situation because Puff is on the platform on top of him, and you can just start doing like up airs again or like up tilts. He's lasering way too close here. Like right here, he like lasers, but he does a dash in for some reason. So he actually should just lose right here. And he does another laser again. He's just like not like playing the mix up well. And Hungrybox is ready this time to actually just waveland off the platform and hit the second set of lasers, but he messes up. But essentially, most of the times you have to be like wary of going for a second set of lasers. like I was talking about. So I would just honestly go for first set of lasers almost always until you think you can actually get a second set. I'd say when Puff is like losing like this, going for a second set is kind of bad because you already have the lead and there's no reason to like open yourself up that badly to like an attack from this like this. So I would just go for a first set, especially when you're in the lead. There's no really reason not to. So he should have died here, but IBW is a good player and he's played Hungrybox enough. So whenever you are in a situation like this and you're scared of getting hit or grabbed or like getting grabbed or up aired, you should just always just take a grab rather than taking an up air. Getting up aired by Puff is so much worse than getting grabbed most of the time. So just try not to have your option be jump. Just have your option be shield or roll or spot dodge in most of these situations in scramble like this. Because Hungrybox especially is really good at catching jumps. And then after they do this jump, it's actually really bad for Puff because let's say IBW is ready for Hungrybox to do this up air and whiff. He could just full hop back here, or he could up tilt right here, and he could potentially get like full hop back air, land on the side platform, and then like get an Upsmash or something like that. He could just get a kill right here because Hungrybox with the full hop up air. So it's really good to just like try not to jump in these types of situations, especially in the corner. In the corner, Puffs are gonna be looking for it even harder. But even in center, it's so bad for Puff to whiff this, so it's really good to recognize that and just try not to jump as much as possible. Sometimes Puffs will not grab, though, and then you have to realize that and just always do the shield option, but usually as you're level 1, you should try and not get hit by this up air. IBW is a short hop back air when he should have just done a full hop and it would hit him, because Puff's full hop is just so bad when she misses. Okay. Good spacing by IBW here. Good range. He could have taken the corner like right here. I would start moving into the corner. I would not even fire this next set of lasers. I would go to about here, and then I could just start up tilting, like turn around up tilt, or I could just try and do like IBW doesn't do it that much, but you can do like a short hop back here, like wave dash short hop back here. If you've ever seen Mango play this matchup, or like even Leffen, both of them are very good at doing like wave dash short hop back here at a shield, and it's really good to catch Puff if you think that Puff's gonna try and go ledge or go to the ground. And I think in this spot it was pretty close, and both have been fine. Okay, does the up air again, and then he just up tilts right after, and it's there's no risk there, so you can just do that. It's really good because he realized that he couldn't get like the proper timing on this, so he just threw it out just in case Hungrybox does an early shield drop and it hits that. But it doesn't, and then he has a late shield drop and he just up tilts instead. So it's just a really, really good mix-up, especially since you're on blocks too, so it's fun. This is exactly what happened when he whiffed like a full hop like this. Like, this is exactly what I was talking about. He just whiffs a full hop aerial, and then he just gets backward for it, and then he gets up aired on the platform. So that is just really important in Puff. Fox, it's like, whenever you see Puff full hop, you can 1, take space on her, and then you can 2, try and just back her for it, because the only things that Puff full hop really covers is jumps from you, and if you aren't jumping, you can just hit that for free essentially. So that's really good to do. Okay, IBW literally should just get killed here. Obviously, he just messed up uber hard. A lot of the times that invincibility, it's about playing the percents though. Like at this percent, he can't get back aired and knocked down at 34. So he can take a back air too. He's fine with taking a back air right now. But he should not be really jumping above Puff, honestly. It's a little bit scary. I like light shield on the platform a lot. I feel like this is a really good option, but he doesn't do the light shield on the platform as much. I would just like chill on the side platform with a light shield, and then you can just like mix up jump, mix up shield drop, mix up like shine as shield. Like there's like after the invincibility's over, of course. It's like I think light shield on platform is pretty good as like a level 1 default for this, because it's pretty scary to get like, let's say you go onto the ground where you can get grabbed. That's scary. And if you're on a platform, it's really hard for them to get a grab on you. So I think light shield on platform is like pretty good as an option. Yeah, there's literally nothing to say about this. Hungrybox just killed him for messing up. Dang. But yeah, he's doing really good. I mean, he's got a full stock lead, so there's no reason to be scared at all. Okay. I don't really like going to top platform here because, Like, what is he really? It's not really gonna gain anything from going to top platform here. If like his intention is to like, if Puff was in center, this is a little bit different. Like if she's like closer to this side, then he could just like do like a shield drop and then do like a full hop bait and try and get Puff to like whiff a move and then hit her, because that's a pretty common situation that happens in this matchup. Like it more so happens on like the smaller stages or like FD, where you get like right next to Puff, so you can't really dash back and try and like beat her moves, so you have to just full hop to try and like get her to whiff punish, and you have to like mix in double jump to actually get her to throw out the move. And that's just pretty common in general, because you want Puff to whiff a grab in those types of situations to get free damage. Type W does a shield drop here. He doesn't really have to do the back air. I think this back air is pretty bad, honestly. If Hungrybox is ready for this, he should be able to turn around grab and kill him, but he goes for a back air instead. So I wouldn't really do that type of shield drop back air from the top platform with like no purpose. And, like there was nothing that I was really covering at general. Like he was kind of hoping for Hungrybox to just jump into him with nothing, like, and just like hope he like goes into this range for some reason. But he's not going to, of course. He's just all the way across the stage, so he just basically only risks his stock there. I don't really like that at all. If he wanted to do that, he could have done the shield drop, not done the back air, waited for Hungrybox to throw out the back air himself, and then drop down on the back air, like I was saying. Like that would have been better.
Do you think there's much merit shield drop aerials from top plat against Puff in general as Fox?
I think, like I was saying, like, it's
or do you think it would just be like, if you see the Puff do something while you're on your way down, you might as well throw it out?
It's like good if Puff is like in this spot, obviously, and that's good. Like if Puff is below you, you can like try and get her to like throw out a move or a grab, but it's a little bit greedy, honestly. I would prefer to play the dash dance game, honestly. I'd just reset to a dash dance position more so than like jumping off the platforms, because it's like getting up aired. Like, of course you can't get up aired at 0, but if you get grabbed, it's just horrible at 0, because that's the only thing it knocks down. So I would just try and avoid situations that Puff gets a free knockdown. Not a free knockdown, but gets the opportunity to get a really meaningful knockdown. Whereas the dash dance, it's way harder for Puff to get a grab off that. She has to.
So when she's grounded, just focus on getting to the ground and like playing.
I would just do that. Or if she's on the platform, you can do that too. Okay. I was even gonna hit here. Okay, this is a good up air. No risk. He was thinking about throwing out an up tilt, but he doesn't. Still under the platform. Then he does this back air again to go center. Doesn't have to go center here, but he does. I think his philosophy here is he doesn't want to give like Hungrybox an opportunity to like wave one off the platform and try and like land and grab him, is his philosophy. So that's why he does these types of like fadeaway aerials to try and get back to center. I don't really necessarily agree with that though. Until you get hit by one of these like wave one off the platform, like back air or up tilts, then I guess you could start like doing these types of fade backs. But he hasn't gotten hit by that once, so he's never actually taken damage while he's in the corner like this entire set. So I don't know why he's doing these types of fade back aerials. I would just stay in the corner and just try and like pressure him more. Okay, he throws out one single laser, another one, and then this was actually just really good about Hungrybox. This wasn't even really avoidable. So
he's a huge fan of that up air.
Yeah, he really is. So this is just really aggressive by Hungrybox. It's crazy how he got this out. Sometimes Puff will do these empty shield drops, and the reason they do this is because this beats reaction Fox, essentially. Like, it allows Puff to get into Fox's space without throwing an aerial that Fox is gonna whiff punish and then be in lag. So you have to watch out for this. It's not really that like common of an option, but HBox read IBW really hard here that he was gonna not be throwing out an aerial. So yeah, the way to beat this is literally just throw out an aerial right here and then just stuff it out, because they have no hitbox, right, when they're just doing an empty shield drop. So you could just beat that with just, you could do like the short up air again. That would be fine. At this percent, yeah, I would just Nair, honestly. But like, you have to sometimes throw out preemptive aerials like this just in case they go for these types of empty shield drops. But I'm surprised he even went for this. It's just really good by Hungrybox. But yeah, that's just something to keep in mind. Okay. He actually whiffs here, and then instead of this time, he doesn't even have to throw out an up tilt. He can just throw out a shield, and then up tilt is not safe on shields, so that's a free shield grab. So like it just boils down a lot to like IBW getting under the corner and then just pressuring Hungrybox over and over again, and then just setting that up by just like trying to get him to approach. And if he doesn't approach, and he's just he's just trolling off stage over here, he just starts taking the side platform. It's just really just like it's a lot of rinse and repeat in this matchup by both sides. So it gets like once you like understand it, like it'll just take time essentially to get to that like perfect mastery, honestly. Okay. So Puff is approaching from so far away here, and in this situation, you can actually like, there's a few, you could like just run under and try and just like cross up back air or whatever she does here. I think that's pretty good personally, because she's so high up in the air, and you have so much time to react here. You can just run under and try and full hop back air her. That's what I would choose here. IBW chooses. Wait, about to say something?
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask why do you think IBDW plays that position in general? I feel like Puff's so far away.
I think
like I know, like, wouldn't you want to play at a closer range to, or is this like the range you would want to play at, like assuming that Puff would try to full hop or wave land off or something?
So I think what IBW is doing here is he's trying to preemptively be out of the pound range. So that's because he knows the Hungrybox a lot of the time, and a lot of other Puffs too. Whenever they get like a backer on you and they're like at like this kind of percentage, they're gonna throw out pound a lot of the time. So that's what he's trying to scout out, but he's honestly a little bit too far on it. Like he's not really baiting out a pound right now. He's just like way too far away, and he's just allowing Puff to take center on him. I wouldn't be this far away. He should have just played at his normal range, and then just be ready to dash back when he starts to think that Puff is gonna approach or reacts to Puff approaching as well. So
okay,
yeah,
because I was thinking about the thing you were saying where it's like you should be prepared to grab like the back airs that she lands with, like be prepared to dash them back, but also be prepared to dash back like a pound or something.
Yeah.
And it's like the range he's playing right now just seems like so far.
Yeah.
Like yeah, you will be able to dash back either options, but Puff could also just come down and start taking space.
Yeah, it's like.
And like we said earlier, Fox in the corner against Puff is not what you want.
Yeah, I think it's like his thought process is like Puff is almost a kill percent too, so he's just like, I can get a few more lasers, and the safest way to get a laser is to be so far away. So that's what he's probably thinking. Okay. But it's pretty greedy gameplay for sure, because he just lets Puff onto the ground like this. And if Hungrybox doesn't throw out this back air, for instance, and he tries to just empty jump towards Fox, Fox is like so down bad because Puff is literally next to him. So that would be pretty bad for sure. So he kind of lets Puff take space on him. This time he does try and, I think he expects Hungrybox to waveland off the platform and pound here. That's what he initially expected to happen. But Hungrybox is this weird jump off the platform, full hop, and he just tries to approach him so far away. And then he actually does the right option of shielding here. But like I said, he could have just dashed, like crossed them up with a full hop backer. I think that's better. If you see Puff that high in the air, just literally run under them and full hop backer them. It's just a free hit, essentially. They can try and like land on the platform, but again, if they try and land on the platform, you can just go for a full hop up air and just try and shield poke, and there's just no risk to that too. So it's just a really good spot for you if you see Puff like up here. It's just such a free cross up back here. There's just like no risk to it. It's a common situation on FD for sure. Or you can try and like get on top of them and try and like nair them on top of them as well too. Or like get on top of them like up here and try and like land on top of them as well too. Because like if you try and get like a full hop double jump aerial on Puff, you have to land on top of them. You don't want to be like next to them because then you get hit by back here. Yeah, this shield was really good because it predicted pound, but Hungrybox doesn't throw it out. So basically, you can tell that situation for free, even though I don't think, like we were saying, he shouldn't have been there in general. Because he could have gotten grabbed there instead of back here, so that would have been really bad. He actually goes for an overcommit here. That's like the first time Hungrybox. IBW is throwing out something that's like scary in this spot. He goes for a grab here. He tries to whiff punish this backer, but he's actually really, really far away this time. Like, I don't know why he lasers onto the platform like this. This is not good. Like, if you want to land on the platform here, just land on the platform with a Nair. Like I was saying, it's fine. You could land here, and then you have the option to, like, run up grab if the Puff just stays on the platform. Or, like, let's say they, like, run off the platform, then you can just, like, try and get it up air. That's a lot safer. Or, like, do, like, wave dash turnaround back air. Like, being on the platform is good in this spot, if you can, Like, this is, like, risky, though, to go for this type of option. Like, even if he Naired here onto the platform right here, it's still risky, because Puff can, like, wave dash a shield and try and grab you, and then you have to start jumping. Like, that's why I think just being under the platform is better, but this isn't...
I was gonna ask, in general, do you think, I know we were talking about Nairing onto side plat earlier,
Yeah.
but do you think that Fox, like, do you even think it's, like, worth it majority of the time for Fox to go up there? Like, do you think it would be better to just play, like, by the ground, like, try to catch your hop, like, falling down?
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's probably better to be doing the IBW stuff. Like I said, I think it's good to do the Nairs onto the platform and, like, in moderation, essentially. So I think that's how I do it, honestly. It's like, you can get to a rhythm of just getting, like, Nair onto the platform, and if you ever get into a rhythm against Puff, it's just so bad, because she'll find a grab in that rhythm, and then you're just gonna get killed for it. So, like, when you do this type of gameplay, it's so hard to get into a rhythm on it, so Puff can't really figure you out, essentially, because it's like, there's a lot of dashing back, there's a lot of, like, different up tilt timings, different, like, laser timings, and different, like, up tilt timings. It just, like, makes it harder for Puff to, like, get a read on you, essentially. But yeah, he overcommits here because he's so far away and he gives up this position. He doesn't have to laser here. He can, of course, but I would honestly just be, like, down to just chill under here and trying to get a full hop back here. And this spot you can also take the platform because Puff was so far away, like I was saying, and try and, like, get on top of her and go for a back air, like turn around and then go for a back air as well too. But he laser on the side platform again. Yeah, he's so far away here. He doesn't have to give up this much space. It's kind of the same thing he does with the backers, like he was doing earlier. He doesn't have to give up this much space here. He could have just gone to the side platform. That would have been fine. My guess is he probably was scared of, like, an edge cancel down air into an up air setup, and he thought he was going to get hit by that, so that's why he went away. Because, like, sometimes if you jump into it or, like, you're spaced wrong, you can get hit by that, so that's probably what his thought process was. But he could have just stayed on the platform. So yeah, he was just too far away to whiff punish that. Because that, whenever Puff does this type of back air sequence, she's just hoping for Fox to dash into it and get hit by it. And then the way to beat that is just to take space on it. Or if you're actually playing a correct range, like IBW usually is, you can just whiff punish it with a grab. But he wasn't playing the correct range that time. Okay. It's really close here. This full hop is fine. He does a wave line back, but he doesn't have to do that, of course. He can just start, he can keep doing his dash dance stuff. He's kind of scary to full hop again at this percent because he can get knocked down by up air at 17. So, IBW takes back center. He's kind of content with just building damage with, like, laser. But he could still try and pressure a little bit harder with, like I was saying, like, if he notices Puff going way off stage like this, he can try and take this spot even more and try and do, like, the wave dash short hop backers I was talking about that, if to try and hit the ledge, or, like, try and, like, down tilt the ledge. Like, I know it's, like, tournament and, like, top 8 at Genesis, but he can play, like, he has a stock to work with, and he can kind of, like, basically try and pressure a little bit harder than he's doing right now. Okay. But he, again, like I was talking about earlier, he's down to just wait it out and let the Nair come out, because the Hungry Box was, like, high in the air. He has, like, no jumps left, so that's what basically is happening here. He uses no jumps, he goes to the ledge, and then instantly off the ledge, tournament winner. Nair is such a scrub habit by Hungry Box in every Puff in the game. So anytime you see this type of inwards tournament winner, just expect them to Nair after, and then you just whiff punish the Nair with a grab. It's just free kill. So, like, IBW again, like, he's just down to wait out for a Nair or, like, a really bad approach or really bad back air and try and grab that. He doesn't really have to, though. He can just try and, like, pressure a little bit harder if he really wants to, like, end the game quicker, I would say. It's a little bit riskier, of course, but he can definitely throw that stuff out until he's like, I got killed for doing it. He hasn't gotten hit once in the corner, like, literally one time. So he's just playing no risk type of gameplay. Like, his only risk that he tried to do was trying to grab that back air that he whiffed. Okay. Let's drill shine. I don't even know how you got hit by this. So right here, just literally throw it up tilt. Don't even think about it. Just throw it up tilt right here. Because Puff in this sequence, she has to, like, after doing this first edge cancel, she has to either go to the side platform or she has to try and hit you here. And there's really no risk of throwing out an up tilt, because if he goes side platform, for instance, he has to like land, and then he has to wave land or shield drop to hit your up tilt. And in that situation, you have enough time to start dashing back. So I would literally throw an up tilt if Puff is above you. Or like I was saying earlier, try and get a back air. But in this spot, it's a little bit weird to get a back air because he doesn't edge cancel. If he was just chilling up here normally without doing an edge cancel, then back air is just the better option than up tilt. But he can definitely learn from left. Left hand would have up tilted that for sure. He's really good at up tilts. Okay. Don't even know what he up airs here. He's just not playing the game. Sometimes that just happens. I really like, this is a pretty common situation that happens. I'm surprised it takes this long for him to do like dash and shield. That's a lot of the gameplay at like when it's mostly when backer starts knocking down. You want to just start throwing out like dash and shield and trying to get a backer to hit your shield, and you can wave dash out a shield, grab it. You can wave dash out a shield, jab it. You can shine at a shield. Like, that's kind of what this dash shield movement is trying to do. And the way Puff beats that, of course, is trying to grab it. Or, like, reading the jump at a shield and trying to upper it. So, it's like, this stuff is really good when backer starts knocking down. It's a little bit early to do it, but I like that he did in general. It's mostly, like, you can't get a dash dance punish, like, easily in this spot because of the way he was situated. Like, he's already facing forward, so he can't really set up a dash dance sequence, and Puff was in the air and ready to, like, threaten his range. So he doesn't really want to dash back and get hit by pound here, because he can't really beat it if he tries to dash back because of like the range. So that's why he throws out the dash and shield instead of doing a dash back here. Okay. This is a weird Nair. Maybe this Nair was actually trying to cover like a preemptive, just like empty land is probably what his thought process was here. But H-Bucks is a really good waveland on the platform. That was just good play. That was good play by both of them, honestly. He doesn't lose much by doing this Nair, because he could up tilt right here instead of doing this dash back. Again, just cover yourself with up tilt here against a shield drop, and it's really good. But IBW was a little bit scared of the timing, so he didn't really want to worry about it. But Hungry Box just literally throws his controller in the trash and just goes to the force smash. I don't know what he was trying to do here. It's like IBW is playing like a little bit far away, honestly, but again, you can play closer when Puff is on the ground because she doesn't have this type of movement with her back air or her pound. She only has about this. So it's like you can play closer when Puff is on the ground, essentially, because she can't hit as far. So he's playing a little bit too far away, honestly. He could play closer. Because if he was playing closer, he could have actually gotten a grab here instead of going for this drill. And then whenever Puff spot dodges, you can just literally click shine. You don't have to even worry about it. It's not a good spot dodge against Fox. So, but whenever you click a shine on shield, you have to be ready to jump out of your shine and do a short hop down air. So that's like the way to beat this up smash. Because Hungry Box, some Puffs are getting good at it too. I'm trying to implement it, but whenever Puff like gets shined on shield, she can try and up smash between a full hop aerial. So, or like Fox doing nothing and trying to grab her here. So the way to beat this is just always do click short hop down air after doing like a Nair shine or down air shine on shield. Because the short hop down air beats this up smash. They could technically up smash after your short hop down air, but that's like a next level of the mix up that Hungry Box doesn't even go to or IBW doesn't go to. So maybe in 2030, like when we get there, that will be the situation you have to go for. That was a bad recovery by Cody, but it's whatever. Okay. Honestly, when you have invincibility, I don't think there's any reason not to throw out like an up air read like over here. Like I was talking about risk reward wise, like being like scary because you can get up air, but you can't get up air if you're invincible. So I would just be throwing out an up air in this spot and trying to hit her. If I whiff, I just go back to the ground and take under the side platform, and then that's fine. I wouldn't really care to laser right now. Okay. IBW messes up his movement, so he gets hit by this backer, but there's literally no risk again. You can just hold down. If Hungry Box is thinking a little bit more here, he could have done an empty shield drop and just tried to grab here instead. But a lot of the times in this matchup, when you're crouching, you don't really want to crouch for no reason because you get grabbed by doing that. You have to crouch with a specific purpose in mind. Like, let's say you're at 0 and you're trying to crouch like a Puff, like coming at you, like facing towards you, and you think she's gonna Nair into you, and you want to crouch cancel shine it, or like crouch cancel jump and then try and back air it. That's a pretty common situation. But like, you just want to make sure that whenever you're crouching, you don't want to crouch too long, or you don't want to crouch without like something that you're trying to punish in mind. Like in this instance, IBW is trying to punish an up air with his crouch. He gets a back air instead, but just make sure that when you're crouching, it's for a reason. And then really good up air. So that was game 1. All right, do you have any questions before we get in the next game?
No, not really. I think I'm. No, not really.
Okay. Dang, we're at like, where we at? Like 45 minutes. So now I gotta think about, do we want to look at FD or Dreamland? Oh.
I would be very down to look at FD actually.
Okay. So
I don't know what it is, but I am so much worse against Puff on FD. I'll like bring Puffs there because I think they're worse. Like obviously I think Fox is really good against Puff on FD. And a lot of Puff players kind of just give up when they're on FD, but like, I don't know. The Puffs that don't give up, I feel very stupid against.
Yeah, it's like FD is a really hard matchup, a really hard stage for both characters when either of them has the lead. Like in terms of Puff can't really approach on FD because she doesn't have platforms to waveland off to try and get more space and like approach faster and have more range. So essentially a lot of the gameplay boils down to Puff sitting in the corner trying to get Fox to approach at her, and if Fox is in the lead, Fox doesn't have to approach the corner. It's kind of like what IBW does on every stage on Battlefield and Dreamland, like he was doing right there. He doesn't do any risk. It's kind of what you do here too. It's just like you don't throw out a single risk when Puff is in the corner, and you just whiff punish over and over and over again. And the problem though is when Puff gets the lead, it gets a little bit harder to figure out what to do, because then she can just like chill in the corner and vibe for a long time, because Puff doesn't get that many ledge grabs when she does this stuff. So the first 2 stocks, honestly, I'm not gonna really like think about them too hard because SVAT kind of trolls them away, but he does win this game, so that's why it's fun. But it's good right now. He's playing pretty similar range, like right, it's a little bit too far away here. But he knows Puff is in the corner, so that's why he's throwing out an extra lasers. But right here, he's back in the range, and he's just trying to laser, get Puff to approach. They both kind of jump backwards, so SVAT immediately starts taking space again. He gets back into the range, he's waiting for Hungrybox to throw out basically a back here, but he doesn't whiff. He doesn't, like, he doesn't really want to bite yet, so he keeps throwing out lasers again. He goes back into the range, he goes back out of the range, so he's throwing out more lasers. Like, he's trying to get Hungrybox to approach, and it's clear that Hungrybox is down to sit in the corner in FD because it's so hard for Puff to get out of the corner. So in this situation, it's kind of like when you see this happening, you can start trying to take even more space and trying to really threaten like a Nair and trying to get like a Nair like up tilt, like Nair up tilt at this point, because Puff's on the ground again, so you can play a little bit closer than what SVAT's doing. But essentially, like, when Puff is just not doing anything in this spot, you want to make her scared, because Hungrybox is not scared right now. He's just trying to take lasers, and he's just trying to get SVAT to approach in a bad spot. Or like waiting for SVAT to give him space like this far away. Like, he gave him space here, Hungrybox takes a little bit of inch of space. SVAT gives him even more space, Hungrybox takes him more space. So like, and then Hungrybox goes for like a back here that's just like, it's not that good. And then SVAT is ready for whiff punish finally. So you can definitely play closer than what SVAT's doing here. But the big thing is, like, you don't want to let Puff out of the corner. So you want to always be, like, really close to her and never letting her, like, escape, essentially. So it's just, like, a lot of, like, really tight dash dance movement, which is what I was talking about later that SVAT's going to do. It's going to be really sick to win the game. But, okay. So when Puff is coming down on FD, she doesn't have a platform to land onto. So she's gonna Nair. She's gonna try and Nair on top of you to try and get around you, like cross up Nair like this. So to beat that, you can try and full hop back here, right? You could have full hop back here earlier than this. That's why it kind of is bad at reacting here. But what I would do is I would try and up tilt the Nair. I would like try and like go further than what Puff is going at. Like Puff is trying to cross up SVAT here, but he does a good thing where he tries to go further back, and he should have tried to up tilt here. Or he could have tried to like double jump like full hop and then trying to see if he is like already on top of Puff, trying to land on top of him. And if he's not, he can try and double jump and then try and backer her. And that would have been the better option. Like that's what I was talking about earlier with like full hop double jump like on top of Puff to try and like backer her. That's a pretty common situation of FD. Okay, aerial shine. SFAT does a full hop backer. Like I was saying, you can't do these types of full hop aerials because Hungrybox, if he was ready, he could have up smash out shield SFAT here. It wouldn't have been that bad because you could ASDI down on the up smash and tech it and probably grab off of it. So that's probably why Hungrybox doesn't throw it out. But in general, I wouldn't really try and, because you could just beat it right away. So just do short up aerials, short up down air specifically. Okay. So this spot is pretty similar to like you should be taking space on Puff right here, because like it's kind of like Puff is like off stage and like not on a platform right now on like Dreamlight or like Battlefield for instance, so we can just try and get closer to Puff here. That's what I would be doing. I wouldn't really dash back yet. He could have taken more space here and tried to like up smash a landing, or he could have tried to like do, because he's not necessarily at the shield percent yet, but Puff is at death percent. So what he can be thinking of like doing right now is trying to like wave or dash in shield and try and wave dash out shield and try and hit a back air like this with like a jab up smash. So that's like something you can be doing here. It's kind of like awkward though. You can start throwing out the up airs because up air on FD is so much harder for Puff to avoid, like because there's no platform to land off of. So you can start using the risk reward of throwing out up air a lot more. The problem though with up air is you can't do these types of up airs on FD, like over here. Like I was talking about, like that being like a big risk reward wise thing, because you have platforms to protect yourself on the other stages. On FD, you get hit by an up air and you get grabbed or something like that after you whiff the up air. It's just so bad for you. So usually just up air in this spot, or you can try and like do a dash shield type of gameplay to try and beat like a back air coming out or a pound coming out. Both of those are pretty fine. It depends on like what you feel like. If Puff is gonna keep chilling in the air, you should definitely go for up air game. Or if you think she's gonna try and preemptively come to the ground, you can try and do the dash shield game. So both are fine. You can also try and whiff punish it too, but you don't really have to on FD because of the threat range essentially. So you can try and be close and just try and shield him. Wait, dash out shield jab. It's better. Wow, yeah, actually I had a good range here to try and beat pound. Gets a pound him too. So I was talking about like Puff trying to cross up to get back to you, and then SFAT again, he just dashes away to try not to be crossed up, and then he just like in a really good spot to whiff punish here, but he just messes up his timing. Like you can just like pound is really bad on FD for Puff, so you just always want to kind of be out of pound range when Puff is landing. So that's what I would try to be doing. So SFAT here, he could have just dashed back up smash, but he wasn't ready to do it. And then the ledge, the accursed ledge. So you basically want to snipe her like ledge jumps, refreshing with like a down tilt, or you can try and like do the wave dash like back air type gameplay out of shield is really good too. In this spot he tries to go for a down tilt, but he tries to just snipe invincibility wearing off, which is a little bit greedy honestly. I wouldn't do this. I would just try and snipe them touching the ledge again. Okay, now he's got Puff in the corner. Do not know what this Nair was trying to accomplish, honestly. But right now, you can just start dash dancing right here and just wait for Puff to throw out an aerial. And that's completely fine. SFAT tries to dash in, trying to get Hungrybox to throw out something. But if you're gonna do this type of dash in, just dash in shield. It accomplishes the same thing. But again, you're kind of just dash dancing right now, hoping for Puff to throw out an aerial eventually. Or if she starts going to ledge or trying to jump off stage, then you take positioning on her and trying to down tilt her if she's trying to just camp you out on the ledge, or if she tries to like ledge stall a little bit too far away, you can try and jump out there and shine. Both are fine too. Okay, you're throwing out a little bit too much laser. I don't really like lasering at all in the corner, honestly. You don't really want to throw out lasers at all. Like IBW was throwing out lasers like on the side platform or like about here-ish sometimes, and I didn't like those either, especially on FE. I don't really like them at all, because it's just like, if you're gonna throw out lasers against Puff in the corner, you usually just want to throw them out like towards like center a little bit more than being this close, because you can get definitely hit for doing the types of lasers. So it's very greedy. Okay, see, this is what I was talking about, just like getting underneath them and trying to like getting like basically on top of them and trying to back air them. He just waits out, waits out, waits out. He can throw out an up air like about here. FoD doesn't choose to though, and he just waits to try and like intercept with a back air. This one was a little bit different than what I was talking about though. He just waits out for a back air to come out, and then he back airs the back air essentially, like after the animation's done. He could have done a little bit of a safer one, but this was fine too. Like he just wanted to make sure that Hungrybox doesn't get an opportunity to throw out a Nair to try and hit its jump. So like this type of backer is basically all FD is. Like it boiled down to like one interaction is to try and just hit and jump above Puff and try and like hit her with a back air. That's essentially how it works. Because she doesn't really want to approach from the ground, but she also doesn't really want to approach in the air either. So just hitting Puff's approaches with full hop back air is just really important. Yeah, FoD, what does he even do here? He's just like, I feel like he like loses control of his character here and he doesn't know what he really wants to hit. This down air was good by Hungrybox though, I will say. And then he gets red completely. That's why you don't do the full hop here as well too, because you can up air as well. So it's just another example of not full hopping. FoD just goes for a random up smash. Don't know what that was. Now he's a little bit too far away, and he's lost the lead. So this is bad for FoD. So now he's gonna have to be a little bit more aggressive here, and he's gonna try and take more space. He dashes back for some reason here. Doesn't have to. He can just try and just like go for an up air again, or he can just try and stay close to Puff and then try and not get crossed up again. So both those are the options. Okay. He was not ready to whiff punish. That's crazy. So he gets backered here. If he was dash shielding, he couldn't have gotten backered there as well too. If he was just dashing in and shielding, that would have been better. And then he's actually outside of Puff's range, but he has a random full hop. So just always be ready to react and not just like doing an option preemptively. Mess up its up throw up air. See how this is literally the backer I'm talking about being so good. It's like, oh, okay, Puff is on top of me. I'm getting crossed up. I shield. This was good. And then his response was, Puff is going to try and hit me right here. So I am going to full hop and then make sure I'm on top of Puff and then get her the back here. So that's like literally all FD is, just trying to get on top of her with the back here. You can do that on Yoshis and Fountain too. Like the difference between those stages is kind of like the threat range. Like Puff's pound is basically where her backer was, or like it covers like the same distance. Like I said that wrong. So Puff's backer on Yoshis and Fountain basically covers where her pound was, and then pound basically goes into the corner. So like full hop becomes a lot better on those stages, and like platform movement in general, because of how scary it is to be on the ground. So like trying to like dash dance with punish is a lot scarier on those stages, and it's more about throwing out hitboxes in center stage and throwing out double jump movements and like full hop movements to try and get it back here on top of Puff. So it's kind of like, if you're good at FD, you're probably going to be good at like Yoshis and Fountain. So there's definitely a correlation between those three stages in terms of that. I think FoD misses a ledge dash. Yeah, goes for a forwarder, and then he's just dead. So where are we at? About an hour. This is what I was talking about, just fishing for a kill. At this position, you don't really want to just like force your way into an up smash and then just dive for it essentially. He should die right here, but he's not going to. But yeah, just don't get greedy on these types of up smashes. Generally when an up smash, when Puff's full hopped or when she's landing in the corner. You don't want to punish her just like trying to be on the ground, because that's just always what she's looking for. Wow.
Oh, when Puff is at, we didn't really get to see this with IBDW's set, because he kind of just killed Puff every time. But yeah, when Puff gets to these higher percents, how do you really, what do you think like the way you kill Puff is? Because you can't really kill her off a grab anymore.
Definitely like the wave dash backers in the corner is a big way. Shield drop backers, the falling on top for the backer is really important. FoD goes for drill up tilt here because he knows that is going to kill a lot of the time. He goes for down tilt a lot too. If he was better at this, he could actually do a turnaround down tilt off that DI and the down throw and actually kill Puff there, but he messes up, so he down tilts again trying to cover the roll. He shield grab, but he dies here because he goes for drill up tilt, and so this combo is really good, but you have to lab it out and make sure your drill up tilts are great, or this will happen. You just get SDI'd and then get grabbed. So what I would do instead here is, if I'm not confident my drill up tilt's going to connect, or I think if I spaced it wrong, just drill jab. You can drill jab back air, or like, let's say it's just randomly in neutral. You can try and like jab puff shield a lot of the time. This comes up in the Dreamland game with IBW, but whenever you jab puff shield, you can basically cover like her jump out of shield with like another jab. And that's like a kind of like a default like kind of way to kill her at high percents, trying to jab her shield and catch a jump out of shield and like up smash or like back air or up air it or nair it. So that's a pretty easy way to get to a high percent kill, is you try and get Puff into shield, because she doesn't want to get hit by like a random nair or random back air, right? So she's gonna shield and you just catch her jump out of shield with jab. Until Puff starts doing like wave dash out of shield, turn around grab on you, or starts doing up smash out of shield on your jabs, then you'd have to start mixing up real shield pressure again, like shine and stuff like that. So that's like the ways to basically kill her high percent. You can also get a Randy up tilt too, because that'll kill at this percent. That's another situation, but as Fat trolls his first 2 stocks, but it's okay. He gets a trade. I'm looking over my notes really quick before I want to go into the rest of this game to see if there's anything else I really want to talk about that came up in the Dreamland game. Okay, so when Puff hits you with her down air, like below 50, right? You actually like can just shine out of it. So that's like basically the way to do it. But like above 50, you want to start going for roll or spot dodge exclusively. You can kind of like buff your light shield. This only really works if Puff does like 2 down airs, if that's her intention. But you always want to mix up between spot dodge and roll, because if you do one or the other only, then you can get grabbed or rested for doing them. So that's a really important like thing to do. Because if you do shine above like 50, you just get grabbed, or like you can sometimes get rested. So that's a big like optimization thing. And then whenever you get hit by like a knockdown, just roll away. Like let's say SFAT is at knockdown percent here and gets hit by a back air, just roll away, because yes, you lose stage on it, but the thing is, you actually can't get really tech chased by roll away by Puff, because she's so slow. So that's like a really important thing to do. It's pretty similar. I feel like the Peach can't cover roll away either. So that's something that's a pretty big optimization. I feel like sometimes like people just like roll in because, I don't know, they're scared or something like that. There's really no reason to roll in. Like sometimes you're like, you don't want Puff to take stage on you, but realistically it's better to just like let Puff take the stage and not take basically a potential death. So that's something pretty big too. Yeah, we can finish out the rest of this game, I guess. It's all the rest of the Dreamland notes. Basically, I talked about that in game 1 too. Okay. It's really high in the air, but SFAT lets him cross him up, so this was really bad by SFAT. Okay. Tries the full hop back air there. Puff gets around him, which is not good. He tries to shine nothing here. This is just SFAT not playing the game, unfortunately for him. This is why this back air is so good. This short hop back air is so good. SFAT's really good at it, so I would definitely do the short hop back airs a lot. It's usually when Puff is just in your space, or you're trying to like hit Puff that's on the ground next to you, like on the ledge or something like that. So that's like a big optimization there. Okay. How does he even do this one? So this was basically another one of the tournament winner situations. Like sometimes when you tournament winner, they're gonna go for pound too. So this is another situation. Like he could have gone for Nair here too, but he goes for pound. So this is another situation. SFAT, crazy reaction time. I don't know how he actually got that dash back there. I don't know if that was intentional or whatever, but that was a crazy dash back on that pound. So most of the times when they tournament winner, just stay out of range of Nair or pound, and then you can just wave punish for free. It's really good. Like, yeah, you're losing stage. Sometimes they don't do the pound or Nair, but most of the time they will pound or Nair. So, because they want to basically hit you immediately after getting off ledge. Okay. Lasering is fine here. About here, I would stop lasering about like here-ish, remember? And then not letting Puff take center on me. This backer was a little bit greedy. I would go for Nair, where I would try and whiff punish it with like a grab, but he goes to ledge anyways. It doesn't really matter that much, but I would try and up tilt there in that spot, because he wasn't really set up to do a full hop, because Puff was so like the problem with like doing a full hop there is Puff was already low to the ground, and then also Puff wasn't really like far enough away to where like if he got hit by a forward air, that could have happened. So it was a little bit of a distance and timing thing. So up tilt is usually like, if you can't get a full hop back air, just do an up tilt instead. Okay. Goes really far into the corner here. Dash dancing in a really good range here. I like this dash dance a lot. Because he's trying to bait a Hungry Box to land. He's waiting out the jumps. And then right here, tries to get Hungry Box to land on the ground. Hungry Box to land on the ground. SFAT is content. Starts shooting lasers here. Again, fine. Starts shooting lasers again. Doesn't really... he goes too far with this one, though. He's not really trying to actually whiff punish him anymore. He's just trying to shoot lasers and trying to get a kill that way. So that's what I was talking about, like trying to only go for like one way to kill Puff. He's basically like thinking like, I'm only going to get a back air to kill Puff now. I'm not even thinking about going for up throw up air with the way Hungry Box is playing. But you can definitely get like a grab or something like that if he was trying to whiff punish here. Like IMW would probably be not even shooting lasers anymore. He would just be trying to get like a whiff punish move, or trying to like get closer on him in the corner and trying to down tilt him, or get a shine, or trying to do like a back air on him. So all right, SFAT is done with doing the back air stuff and doing laser stuff. He's just trying to get down tilt here. All right, I'm gonna skip that. It's like, it's a lot of the same situation over and over again. Like SFAT trying to down tilt the ledge refresh, and then getting a shield up. He could be threatening with shine too, like, because Puff is going to get into like a cadence here or a rhythm, and you can get a shine on these things, but you have to get a reading on the timing. And sometimes Puff is pretty lazy on it, so you can basically get a... He's not even protecting himself either. He's not even throwing out like a forward air or at all. He's just jumping. Like, you can definitely get a shine here, for sure. But if he was a little bit closer, if he wasn't shooting lasers there. So he lets Puff take center on him because he started shooting lasers. Not good, not good. Okay. I like this full hop. He thought about doing a back air there for sure, but he realized that to do a back air there, he had to like double jump to get it, and he was a little bit scared about doing that because he doesn't. I don't think he realized what percent he was at. You can definitely have done that double jump back air there and landed on top of Puff with a back air and hit her for it. I would have probably done that personally because Fox at 16, so he can't get knocked down by up air. I think SFAT didn't realize his percent, so he definitely could have done that double jump back air. He just thought he would get hit by up air. Okay. I like how he doesn't let Puff cross him up here, and he dashes back. This was good. Okay. This back air was good, but he let Puff cross him up again, so it was a little bit spooky. So this little, it's basically like rinse and repeat on a lot of situations on FD. But yeah, it's basically not letting Puff cross you up is the biggest thing on FD, because on the other stage it's a little bit different on Puff crossing you up. Like, Puff is going to land on a platform after crossing up, and then you can just wait for her, and then she's just going to be chilling. But on this stage, when Puff crosses you up, she can try and land on the ground in center and take center on you, because just how FD works, there's no platform. So it's a lot different on the stage, like Puff cross you up. There's a general rule for the other stages too, but it's a lot less relevant there than this one. Okay. Goes to ledge for some reason. Don't go to ledge there. Just keep holding center. Waits out the air dodge. Nice. Okay, this is a good range that he's playing at right here. I like this a lot. But he's not really trying to get a grab or trying to like get a drill here, so that's what I'd be trying to go for too. It's like SFAT plays the reaction game and then he just stops playing the reaction game. Like, I don't really know what his thought process is sometimes, but IBW would definitely be playing this a little bit better. But unfortunately, the last time IBW played Hungry Box on FD, he got like destroyed, so it's not that relevant. Okay, just get the Nair out of that. That's crazy. That was a good like ASDI down on that back here, so that was good. Playing at a really good range. He's not committing to anything. Like, you see how SFAT, like, he did that one out smash earlier, but he is literally not committed in the corner at all. He doesn't throw out a single move. He doesn't even think about it until he can get the move. Let's Puff cross him up here, which isn't good, but he's ready to hold down, which is good. But again, this one was a little bit weird of a hold down because of the percents and like of the ranges. SFAT was holding down too long, so Hungry Box is able to space his aerial properly. Let's say he was shielding here instead. Shield would have been better because he could have waited out shield, jab, up smashed him. So shield sometimes is better than crouch in these types of situations. You shouldn't have let him cross him up though. Okay. Now he commits with an up smash. Not good. Not good. Because now he has a panic option like shield. So just don't commit in the corner with an up smash unless you think you can actually get it. This one was so greedy. I don't understand what he was actually trying to hit here. It's only again hitting a landing or like a full hop. Tries to get on top of him with a backer here. He messes up though. This one was preemptive. That was the problem with this one. This one wasn't really like punishing an aerial that was already out. He was trying to read him. If you're trying to read Puff in this type of spot, you should just read with an up air. Like, I would have just done an up air here instead. Like, I would have been still on the ground and trying to up air in this spot. Even if it's risky. If you're going to do something risky here, just do an up air instead, for sure. But you could have been on the ground dash dancing and just trying to wait out that down air, which would have been better than all three of those options. Okay. Finally gets drill grab, but whiffs. I actually really like the... I said there's a lot of side Bs in this matchup, and I think until Puff starts punishing your side Bs, you should just do side B first and then start doing up Bs as like a general rule of thumb, for sure. Because I think it's a lot, you get a lot more after like getting a side B than getting an up B. Because like you get an up B, it's basically your living, whereas you get a side B, you actually like can get back to stage, you can take center. So like risk reward wise, like side B gets you way more than up B. But if you get hit by it, then if you get hit out of your side B, you're dead like every time, and like really fast. So it's the difference there. Okay. What even happened here? What? Oh, I said there's a ledge dash. He doesn't even try to do like ledge dash, like up smash or anything, which is weird. Puff isn't in the spot. Hungrybox is trying to get him to whiff a ledge dash, essentially. Like, he's trying to make him have a bad ledge dash. Whenever you see Puff in this range, literally just ledge dash, smash here. Don't even think about it. You don't have to, like, do anything like detective work here. It's always just ledge dash, smash. Okay. He's really close. He's way too close to be shooting lasers right now. So he could have gotten a grab there, but he doesn't. He does the short out backer because Puff is close to him. Really good by his fat. Like that a lot. If he doesn't do this Nair here, could have done... Instead of doing the Nair, he could have just waited for a second, waited for this forward air to come out, then double jumped it, or like full hopped and trying to get on top of her, and hit her with the back here. That would have been perfect. He actually gets red there somehow. That was the problem with rolling away there. And this was a different spot about like roll away being bad, in the sense that if he rolls away here, he can still get tech chase because the ledge kind of cuts off the roll away. And he kind of knows that, so he rolls in instead. So it was a little bit different of a spot than normal rollaways. And he dies here, but I mean, he's somehow winning his game after like basically unwinnable position. So just shows how strong Fox is on FD if you just play the game plan right. Even SI is making a lot of mistakes, but he's still winning too. This up tilt was really good. This was basically what I mean by like you're not having enough time to actually go for a back air here. Like right here, after he whiffs the first up tilt, he knows he cannot get a back air on top of Puff here, or he's going to get hit by an air. So he just throws out an up tilt to try and cover an air. Doesn't come out, but lets Puff cross her up. This time was a little bit weird though. He goes for a shine here. I don't really like it, but it worked out. Again, I would have just dashed back and tried to not let Puff cross me up is what I would have done here. You're not even scared of pound either, so there's no reason to like really be scared here. I would just run in and then just take center on her and just like get her in the corner again. That would have been fine. Then he's just trying to get a grab so badly. But this was great. This dash dance timing is basically what I mean by like just really tight dash dances. Like right here. I don't think IBW gets this dash dance. Maybe Mango does. But this was so good. This is an example of like just a really good dash dance against Puff. He just waits out a double aerial. Well, I don't think the HBox doesn't do this on against IBW, but whenever you see Puff do aerial, just punish the second aerial instantly. There's no risk to doing it. So just wait out the second aerial and just punish it. SPAT knew the second aerial was coming somehow because he's the GOAT. And then he just does like a pixel perfect dash dance, I feel, and then just whiff punched him for it. So, and then he's dead. So, I think that's everything I have. Do you have any questions?
No, I think you were pretty thorough.
All right.
I think this was really good, actually. I've gotten lessons from a couple people before. I think this is actually like really good.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. I mean, I appreciate it.
Yeah, have a good day.
All right, thank you. You too.